All right, the additions I wanted to talk to you about face to face, because I won't be running through the box procedures here, about box entry figure 1 alpha. So main thing is this is your first impression, all right? So Ron's been saying, you want to kick open those doors and be like, what up, mother, can't say it because I'm trying to put this public, but fill in the blank on the word used. So this is your first impression. This is when you want to go ahead and say that war cry, that chant, whatever it is, flying proof, boom, let's say it, and you go right into the maneuver. Seatbelt check first, and this I'm already starting at my start altitude, so you should be holding your altitude and seatbelt check. So 1,500 feet above my first maneuver's altitude, seatbelt check, upright, right into your 45 down. It should be that quick. If timing is off, if you're realizing that, okay, you want your placement in the box and you have a long pause between your seatbelt check and your 45 entry, then start playing with that and shorten it up. And go right into that entry down at the 45 point. Like I said, you are just, wherever you want to start that first maneuver, barely before that are you going to aim for. How do you figure out your right aim point to where you want to start your first maneuver, which generally first maneuver should start center box? You had to practice it. End of story. You got to practice it. So Joe was just explaining it to me on my last ground coaching experience, where I got pretty grilled on, happily grilled on. You go into your 45, do your wing wags, pointing into the judges with your top of your wing pointing at the judges. Stop, level, and right when you think you're going to start that first maneuver in that location, go ahead and 90-degree bank and look at your spot on the ground. You're not doing this in competition. You're doing this to practicing the entry. When you look down and you do that wing 90-degree knife edge and look down, see if you're where you need to be. Most people will be early because we're pilots, we're thinking ahead. This is what Joe's explaining, and it's a legit thought, right? We're pilots, we're thinking ahead. So we're probably going to start that maneuver earlier than what you think you're starting it at. And so now you can start moving it from there. What I found throughout the practicing was I started way far out, and then I just ended up really tightening up everything. So when I was starting outside the box and out over here, now I'm starting pretty much right on the box and definitely on the edge of the box on my base and going in and almost pointing right at the center. In comparison to what I was doing, it feels that way anyways. So that's part of your box entry. So once again, 1,500 feet. This is all starting points. 1,500 feet, somewhere along the edge of the box. Go into your 45, dive it down, do your 3 wing wags, level out. Right when you think you're going to start that maneuver, which should be that quick, level out now. Knife edge, see if you're in your spot. Another thing to consider, okay, do you want to be full power? Do you want to be idle? Do you want to be somewhere in the middle, coming in on that 45 down? It really depends. That's something you got to practice. I've been starting it at idle because I've been getting V&E at the down because I'm taking a while doing the wing wags, doing deliberate wing wags. The goal is to be able to do it at full throttle. So you want to start working your way to that. Aircraft dependent and everything else dependent. You may or may not be able to, but your end goal is right at the level before that first maneuver. You should be right at V&E and right at center box, or where you want to start the maneuver if it's not the standard, which is center box. Other entries to also you're going to want to try out is occasionally, and this is in a known or an unknown situation, this is when it hits everybody, and you're going for that unknown, and you'll realize you start a sequence with something like a spin, or you got to start slow, or push to a down, or something along those lines. So actually, you're not starting on 45 down, you're starting on 45 up. So now you got to practice that, getting your wing wags on the 45 up as you're slowing down. How many wing wags can you actually do? So before you end up showing up at that competition, getting handed an unknown that needs a 45 up entry, try it out, test it out beforehand. All right. Okay, everybody, that is box entry. 2 videos, my time together, box entry.